Thanks to everyone who watched my previous video. It was a kind of celebration video. 2,000 subscribers, 2.5 years of doing this, and over 150 videos now. One of the things that came up in the comments was, as far as something that somebody liked, was a series that I do sometimes where I draw a ticket out of a mysterious hat, concert ticket, and talk about it. I call it memory tickets. I haven't done it in a little while, so I figured I would do it today. Usually I grab between 3 and 5 out of this and talk about them, depending on how long I go on. So a lot of these are from before the digital era, because now we get concert tickets delivered electronically. It's easy to misplace them. One idea I had, though, was actually to go through my emails, because I'm pretty bad about deleting them, and search for terms. Maybe I can pull them up and write them down and put them in this collection so I can draw from more recent shows too. But let's get started. The first one I'm drawing feels like a fatter ticket, like a major event concert, not a like a small club, or it's one of those event bright kind of tickets. Anyway, let's see what it is. It is Eels. Oh, that's cool. Wow, 2008. Hennepin Theater Trust. So it's a Pantages theater, great old theater in Minneapolis. There's 3 of them. There's a Pantages, or at least in Minneapolis, Pantages, State Theater, and the Orpheum. They're all excellent. I've seen shows at all 3 of them, quite a few shows. So this was $20. I remember kind of buying this the day of. I went by myself. I had really gotten into their latest record, which was Bright Lights and Other Stories, I think. So it had something in parentheses. I haven't listened to it in a while, but it probably still is my favorite Eels record. I love the storytelling in it. Recently, Mazzy interviewed David Lowery over on his channel talking about his autobiographical record. It's something like 3 LPs. I've checked it out. I don't really claim to know it. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. It's quite lengthy. But one of the records that it reminded me of was this record, Blinking Lights, because he's telling stories about his father, about growing up, very autobiographical. And I remember the show was just incredible. It was such a good show. The Chet, he kept making a big deal out of the Chet. I think it might have been the first time that the Chet was playing with them, or maybe the first tour. He also showed a lot of slides, maybe even some movies, like a little documentary about his father, who I think was a physicist. It's really interesting. And, I've been on and off with the Eels. I followed them a little bit afterwards. Nothing has quite been to the level of that record for me, Blinking Lights, as far as my own interest and be able to relate to it. But I do love a lot of Eels. Love their albums before this, but this still, from this era, 2008, Blinking Lights is still my favorite. And that was an excellent show. And I don't think I've seen them since. Anyway, okay, the next one feels kind of fat too. Feels older. Feels like maybe it's been around for a little bit. Let's see. Wire. Oh, cool. $1 admission. This was, a lot of my tickets are from Minneapolis. I lived there for a long time. If you don't know, I moved there when I was 21 to go to college, halfway through. And I didn't leave. I left for like 2 years in the middle of it, but I didn't really, from that time, from I was 21 until like 18 or 20 years later. I think I was 41 when I moved to San Francisco. So I lived there for a lot of my time in my life. And a lot of that time was going to a lot of amazing shows. It's a very good music community. Wire. I love Wire. My favorite Wire record is probably 154. I love Pink Flag too. I liked some of their stuff. I think Send might have been that era for this, where they're kind of having a comeback that was very different from the one they had in the early 90s of Bell as a Cup Until It Is Struck, and some of those songs that were kind of all over 120 minutes. Just great band to see live. I always like listening to their music. I can't say they've had a record lately that's totally won me over the way that I think I did like Send quite a bit, and especially 154 for me. But excellent band, and I loved how, I think they almost went bankrupt doing it, but how they used to have like free tickets or $1 tickets to get in. It made going out constantly a lot more affordable. And this was, April 10th, 2011. So, all right, let's pick another one here. Okay, this is a really thick, kind of fat ticket. So I'm guessing this might be more recent. Ticketfly. Oh, cool. This is a good story. This is a really good story. I saw Lucinda Williams at the Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas, and this was a show, and I feel like I might have told this before, but maybe I just told it to some friends. I'll edit this out if I told it before. Lucinda Williams, Brooklyn Bowl, Las Vegas. I was excited to see her. This was, what year was this? This was when I was living in Las Vegas. It's 2015. I think she had Way Down. Confusing that. Down Where the Spirit Meets the Bone might have been the latest record, or possibly, I think that was the latest record at the time, double record, which I really liked. And I've seen her several times. She played Las Vegas. I lived there for a year. It was a big deal when a band would come because it was the only time I've lived in a city where you couldn't predict it that a band would come based on like announcing a tour. Minneapolis got pretty much everything. And Las Vegas, San Francisco did. Las Vegas didn't. And I saw her at Brooklyn Bowl. Is a very cool venue to see a band if you're ever in Las Vegas. Great open space, pretty intimate. Feel a lot of people in there too. I don't think it was anywhere near sold out. That was a depressing thing. You'd see a band there and you'd think, oh, they're never going to come back because they just don't have a big draw. I knew something was off with this show. I knew it from the moment I was on a date, brought her. I remember, I was hyping it up. She'd never seen her before. She's excited. And I was like, something's off. And I remember saying to her, I'm like, this isn't right. You know how when you take somebody to a gig, sometimes you feel like you're like really hoping they like it because like you talked him into it and you're like a little self-conscious. I was that way. And I was like, something's going on. Something's not right here with her. And she played a couple songs and I've never seen her just totally walk through a show. I've seen her really drunk, like back in like 98, 99. But they're still great shows. I've seen her. She's been brilliant almost every time I've seen her. But there was something a little off about her. And after a couple songs, she's like, I'm sorry. I just gotta tell you guys something. And she goes into the story about how she arrived in Las Vegas and couldn't stay at the hotel that she wanted to. Something happened with a booking, and so she's way far away from the venue, and she's walking, and it's, of course, I'm sure, miserably hot. When is this? August 5th, yeah. So she's walking along the strip, with all of her luggage and whatever she's got, guitars, I would imagine, and she goes to the venue, to the Brooklyn Bowl, and they wouldn't let her in because they didn't believe that she was performing. They didn't believe that she was Lucinda Williams. Can you imagine that? I mean, her name, she's like, that's my name up on the marquee. And I don't think she had her ID with her or something, and it just got her in a foul mood. And I think she was just running behind the whole day. I think she wanted to fix her hair. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff from traveling. I don't think she had enough time to just kind of gather herself. And then she's got this problem getting into the venue. So she's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm off tonight. And people were just like clapping and cheering her on. It's okay. And she totally opened up. The crowd, she's like, I love you guys. Like we made her feel at ease. She knew she was in good company. We were just there to support her. And it ended up being a phenomenal show. And she got really into it. And it was the complete opposite of what she started out doing with the first couple songs. And the person I was with was like, she just loved her. She couldn't believe how good she was. So that was really cool. That was, August 5th, 2015. How much did I pay for this ticket? $39. Yeah. Cindy Williams. All right, let's do one more in case I have to edit that one out. So this next one. Okay, this feels like something I had in my pocket that got maybe a little wet during the show. Oh, man. Patterson Hood. Fine Line. Oh, that was good. Oh, wow, that was really good. 2012. Okay, Patterson Head has a new solo record out. It's great. I love it. Exploding Trees and Airport Screams, I think it's called. This was touring for the previous solo record, Heat, Lightning, Rumbles in the Distance. And it was excellent. It was excellent. I've seen him solo about 4 times, maybe 5 times. This was the only time I've seen him where he had a completely different band. It wasn't just him acoustic. It wasn't with the Drive-By Truckers. It was him with a completely new band. And it had a really great sound to it. And I wish I could remember it more, but I was super impressed by it, to the point where I was like, I wish he would almost keep going in this direction for a while. And I know he's toured lately behind his new record. Unfortunately, I think he came through here before the record was out, and I slept on it. If he comes through again, I would definitely like to see him with the band that he's got playing behind him. If it's anything like this, I would be absolutely thrilled. Yeah, this is a mess of a ticket. $20. $20. Fine Line in Minneapolis in Monday in 2012. Some Monday in 2025 or 2012. If you can read that better than I can, let me know. But I can't tell when exactly that is. But all 4 of these shows were excellent. So I feel like I kind of lucked out today drawing these tickets. But I'll keep this pretty short. That's what I have. And yeah, God, love seeing live music. Love bringing up the memories. And love sharing this stuff with you. So yeah, look forward to your comments. Did you see any of these artists live yourselves? What did you think of them? Did you catch them on the specific tours that I mentioned? Thanks, everyone.